tiny child, on the occasion of my birthday, which is in the summer, I went outside and sat down before a dandelion and had a conversation with it. I told the dandelion that we were both lions because my parents had told me I was a Leo. And the dandelion was a dandelion, so that made us both lions, and the dandelions looked just like the sun. So years later, grew up, and where was I this time? Okay, I just got married. I lived in a tiny, tiny studio apartment with my new husband, and I kept having these reoccurring dreams where I was walking around in a factory that was next to a big river in Russia. And basically it was the same dream over and over again. I was always arrived there in the dark. It would be a little before dawn. And sometimes a variation would be the workers would come in and work. And I would walk around and look at them as they worked with these machines. And then one time I dreamed it, and the workers came in and they all saw me. And the forewoman, who was this tiny squat woman, picked up something, a wrench, I don't know, but weapon-like, and she ran at me, yelling at me, waving this thing. And I freaked out, and I was back in Cambridge in my bed on the floor, mattresses, you know. And so years later, when I moved to Miami, I told this dream to my high priestess, and she said, that wasn't any regular dream. You are haunting those places. That's why they were afraid of you. You were a ghost there. You astral projected, and they were afraid of you. Oh. A few more years go by. We're now having a nice life, my husband and I get invited to a convention in Russia, Languages of Science, Languages of Art. And I went to talk about vector theory and its use in literature and drama. And many things happened. I've told some of those stories. I'm trying to pick up my Russian stories again. We kind of escaped. We were sent away from the convention during it, evading a KGB agent who looked like an assassin. And we were taken to stay in this dormitory in Moscow next to the university there, their arts and music department. And so we were kind of hidden in this place, and we never saw anyone there. We were put in this dorm. And we would walk around and see things. At one point I walked by and stopped in this alley because they were playing music and it was beautiful. But on our passports, our visa and our airline flight were not at the same date. So we were hoping to extend our visa so we could stay till the plane flight was. Otherwise we'd have to change our tickets. And that was going to cost a lot of money, and Russia had already been draining us dry of money through different little fines and stuff. Well, not little fines, big fines. So, and it's really hot, and my husband's desperate for air conditioning and a Coca-Cola that's cold. So we're making our way to go to this office where maybe we can get our visa extended. And we stopped in this restaurant. He's looked up, which actually there's two. This is a little chain. There are two parts of the chain. And one is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the other one is here in Moscow. So we go in there, and this is a place where all these businessmen are in there. And at that time, 1999, a Coke was $10 in this restaurant. And the hamburger my husband got was even more expensive. Now, normally in Russia, you can get 5 legs of chicken for 50 cents, and you can get a hamburger for $0.25. It might just be the bread, or it might just be the patty, but it's still just 25 cents.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I didn't get anything. This was too expensive, and we were running out of money. So we go to the office, and we told them, impossible, nicht. We can't change, we can't extend the visa. So Guillermo asks to call the husband unit. He has to call our embassy. He calls the embassy, and they say, leave when your visa says. Because when people like you have problems like this, we can't find them. And this was odd because according to my conversation with the dandelion, things should have gone well. And the reason why they should have gone well was when we got to Russia and the guy was supposed to take us to the conference, which was in Scottsdale. He got scared and left, so he had, there was a how we were going to get there, and this boy came to take us there on the bus, and the bus leaves once a day when it's full. So you don't know when it's full, so you have to get there fast. So we go to the bus station in a cab, and everything this June in Moscow is dandelion fluff. There's so much dandelion fluff in the air, it looks like snow. And I was really worried, are we going to make it to the bus? Are we going to be able to get to the conference? And then suddenly out my window, the fluff parts a little bit, and there's a face of a lion. So the stone lion is the sculpture. And I knew we're going to get there, everything's going to be fine. But the guy said, get on a plane immediately, otherwise we can't find you. Well, we did get on, obviously, I'm here. And years later, I started having another recurring dream. I kept dreaming of this little mountaintop village where there's a beautiful temple. It was in China. My husband said, we're not going to China.